Hey guys, the grind continues. Today we are pushing a bit higher keys, getting killed by hunters, chasing hunters who run away, to just deal with an affix, and opening our first vault.
Okay, let's go.
First run of today's episode, my own key, +4 Tazavesh Streets of Wonder. Second pull already started taking our lives. The hunter went down to hyperlight broadcast and the Death Knight got shredded right after. Luckily for us, the entrance was nearby and we finished this pull. The first boss died with ease, but the second fight was kinda fun for me. The rogue died to some balls flying around and I tried my best to deal with the affix, but the hunter was against it, trying his best to escape from me. The rogue didn't learn anything from his first death and chose to observe the rest of the fight from the floor. After defeating the postmaster, we came to one of my favorite parts of this dungeon so far, the streets event. I'm still trying to understand the thought process behind this dialogue, but I'm not sure yet. It seems like it's designed for the tank to handle this part, so even though I tried to keep the Death Knight alive, he died. The next boss felt like a chill fight, but I keep seeing people die into that massive green circle. The Death Knight was too focused on his buttons and went down again. The last boss fight scares me the most right now, but we managed to kill him with no silly moves. We upgraded this key by +2 and I got +6 Atonement keystone. Atonement started with a very questionable death at the beginning of the run. It seems like the warlock thought he wasn't going to take any damage while mobs were dead, but of course he died. After killing the first boss and making it to the second, the tank decided to pull trash into the boss. We were pretty much fine, but no one helped with the spear that killed me, so I went down. It took a while for the warlock to resurrect me and I came back too late to save the others, so we slowly wiped. We came back with all cooldowns and the boss died easily. The last boss fight went smoothly and we got our key upgraded by +2, giving me a +8 Floodgate keystone. I decided to wait until the next day to keep progressing because it was Tuesday evening already and I wanted to get some upgrades first.
I need the max win.
Vault didn't offer much of a choice, but the first tier piece is huge, so I chose Deluxe of course. Blizzard is watching, I guess, since they decided to give me a key for my little nightmare, Priory of the Sacred Flame. The first pull introduced itself as a mid-grinder, but this time we managed to deal with it flawlessly, losing no one and not even having any close calls. This group was overkill for the dungeon, so we kept clearing everything with our eyes closed. On the second boss, the demon hunter tried to soak as many times as possible, but without pain suppression it was a one-way ticket unfortunately. He got a combat rest but came back to life right into a spinning hammer. The last boss died, the clean run ended and I got +8 key in my bag. But I wanted to clear some extra dungeons to get more currency and possible upgrades along the way. Dawnbreaker, second pull. At this point I'm still thinking that Mass Dispel can deal with the affix. Meanwhile, the warlock gets deleted in the blink of an eye. The second ship kills people more often than failed mechanics, so our hunter went straight to the dungeon entrance. The pull after the first boss seems like a big danger for melee classes. In 100% of my runs I've seen them die. This time the survival hunter got deleted. Right before the second boss, the mid-grinder started. After 7 quick back-to-back deaths we finished that pack and moved on. This fight is still kinda hard for me to heal, but I managed to deal with it with no deaths. I hadn't noticed, but the tank went for some trash count and they were already wiping by the time I got there. I thought we could deal with the mobs without a tank for some reason and died right after the warrior and hunt. Last boss is dead and we are at 1659 score now. Next dungeon on the list, Floodgate +7. After clearing some trash right before the first boss, the hunter got a pretty noticeable spinning mechanic under his feet, but didn't even try to move. The first boss fight started, stuff happening here and there, and then the hunter ran through me toward the bomb. I was pretty sure I'd be safe where I stood, but the boss charged through me and his chick perfectly lined her BBFG ability to finish me. So there is no barrel on the ground. I'm still thinking whether I need to dispel the hunt in case they spawn. I choose to just use defensives on him, but he kindly told me to dispel him right after the mechanic ended. This particular group of mobs after Big Mama is a small challenge for me to heal, but DH made it a bit easier, giving me fewer targets to worry about. Right before the last boss, I got deleted by some overlapping casts. The Death Knight brought me back to life, but I went straight back to flow POV after a couple of seconds. After the last boss died, we got 112 points closer to our small goal. Next run is Gambit. I thought this entrance area is a walk in the park, but soon we started slowly losing people. From my understanding, the warrior was afraid of getting killed, so he kept kiting, and DPS were getting one-tapped by mobs, pulling aggro. The first boss was an easy clap for our group. I remember this fight being somewhat hard when it first got released, because only one person could see the rune order. The next boss still confuses me, so I choose to stay with the monk in melee since it seemed pointless to stay far behind in case he spawns far in front of us anyway. I got pulled, dispelled stacks, but got deleted by the trash that has been pulled into the boss earlier. No CR and a wipe. The second pull went much smoother, but this time I let our shaman die. In the last boss area, a cast went off and we almost fully wiped. I stayed alive because I was in line of sight sitting behind the staircase. Fear and Monk Ring saved our situation, preventing a full wipe. We kept clearing while they were arguing, and this run brought us 98 RIO. I also got a helmet that can be transformed into the second tier piece, and since we cleared 4 Mythic dungeons for a quest, I received a big heroic reward. This beautiful trinket. Streets run started with a small semi-wipe, but we recovered and finished that group of mobs. This mini boss was almost dead, I was already killing dogs with my eyes, and I got 3 stacks of the debuff, making me dead. The bazaar event traditionally had something wrong with the trading an item with the mob, but we managed to deal with it. The rest of the run was clean. We are only 1 or 2 points away from our goal. Next dungeon in Halls of Atonement was too perfect, even a bit boring. The only thing that happened during that run was a double DH death on the second boss, and that's it. Halls brought us to a 1932 RIO mark, and only one dungeon was left to hit this episode's goal, Ara-Kara. I saved this dungeon for last since I had a key for it in my bag, so I invited this package deal. They were overgeared and more than qualified for this run. Grabbed the last melee and moved to the dungeon. The first pull started slowly, we were moving to the first mini-boss with no rush. And yeah, a cast went off taking away our mage, and the con attack deleted the paladin right after. The paladin got a CR and the mage chose to observe from the floor. We kept clearing, moving forward with ease, even the first boss felt like an easy clap. And then it started. The mage died to some one-shot mechanic, we were fighting a big group of mobs and the tank decided to move forward. No interrupt for an AoE ability led to huge party damage, and another pack got chain pulled. We came back, I went to heal the mage, and meanwhile the tank pulled 2 groups of mobs. Another volley went off and we kept dying. I'm not sure if it was still timeable, but the group started to vote and I got a +7 Ara-Kara key now. I got a group ready, trying to summon missing people, but seems like they weren't happy with my RIO or gear, or maybe my already spreading reputation, and they quit the group one by one. I started forming a new group and got some decent players, including this big 3k IO tank. This time around we were moving much faster, this group had much better DPS, everything was clean, and the first of only 3 deaths happened at the end of the first boss fight, when he was nearly dead. This was one of the cleanest runs so far. We made it to the last boss with only 1 death on the count. During the last fight the warlock got killed by the rolling blob, and a bit later the warrior died due to my lack of healer skills. And this is how I reached my first big milestone, 2041 rating. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and see you soon.